A good Yom Tov to you. I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to share some thoughts with you. Rabbi Mack asked me to share a little bit about what inspires me as I think about strength and courage. I'm very fortunate in that I get to see strength and courage each and every place that I turn. As many of you know, I have the privilege of serving as president and CEO of the United Way of Rhode Island, and we run a call center called 211 where folks can call 24/7, 365 for any basic need or concern that they may have. There's a caller that comes to mind. I'll call her Alice. Alice's husband had long abused her and finally was arrested and placed in jail. Alice thought she was safe, but she lost that income from her husband and was threatened eviction. Not only did her landlord threaten eviction, but they took every external door off of its hinges of her house, then putting her and her 5 beautiful small children in jeopardy once again. She called the United Way. We got her safe, we got the doors back on, but she did find in July that eviction happened. She and her kids were in their cars sleeping in the middle of July. She came back to United Way. We got her in a safe place. She's stable, she's healthy, her kids are healthy, happy, and a place, a roof over their heads. Alice's strength and courage is knitted into every aspect of that story. Her kids were top of mind. You could see every time we saw her and talked to her that they were the top priority for her. She was overcoming fear because they were her top priority. Alice isn't the only one, though, that has inspired me and given me strength and courage through an incredibly tough time. And we have to find them and look for them everywhere that we turn. So I have drawn strength from Rhode Island's leadership, who have stepped in and made difficult decisions each and every day on behalf of each and every one of us. I'm inspired by Rhode Island's teachers and their students who pivoted at a moment's notice and have done it with a smile on their face. I draw strength from nursing home workers and emergency doctors and home healthcare workers, and you name it, who have never missed a beat to protect us, to protect our older adults. I'm inspired by our community, and especially our youth, who have peacefully and safely protested to dismantle the systemic racism that has plagued our Black and brown neighbors for far too long. I am inspired by our congregation's leadership, who have made sure that our temple, albeit a virtual one, is still a source of refuge and connectedness. In the darkest of times, we must shine by lifting up our voices. We must shine by giving our time and our talent and our treasures to our community and to those who need it most. That is strength and courage, and to me, that is community.
I receive strength from my patients with cancer at the Miriam and Rhode Island Hospital. Every day I'm reminded of the preciousness of each day of life. I see people showing great courage proceeding on with treatment that can give significant side effects for the hope of living a little longer and having a little bit more time with their family and friends. This gives me strength to fight for them in the form of hard work and research. I'm also strengthened by patients who with such courage, dignity, and grace choose no further treatment so that their remaining time can be spent at the highest quality with their family and friends. This makes me appreciate each moment of life and time with my loved ones.
What gives me omets lev, or heart strength? It is the people that I love. So first, my parents, who've each passed away in the last 4 years. My dad 4 years ago, my mom more recently. Gave me incredible strength watching as they dealt with the adversity of getting older. My dad, when he was diagnosed with something that could threaten his life, said with his incredible optimism, well, the doctors seem lovely. We'll meet some new interesting people. And I knew it was going to be an interesting journey to the end. My mom, who suffered from Alzheimer's, found a new way to relax, a new way to have fun, and kept going. And that was incredibly inspiring to me. My husband has just completed a very challenging job that he had for 6 years, and I watched him handle that job with such grace and humor and humility. That gave me incredible strength. And our spectacular children, Hannah and Sam, the world is their oyster, but they've had to demonstrate some resilience in the past 5 months, and they've been extraordinary and fun-loving, and figured out new ways to get along in this world, and they inspire me each and every day.
Hi, so in my experience as a Reformed Jewish female of color, I have unfortunately had to learn what courage means to me the hard way in some cases. So for example, at camp, I would occasionally be referred to as the black girl, or I would be mixed up with the only other black girl at camp who happens to be dark skinned and look absolutely nothing like me, different name, different age. And when I was in Israel, we visited a Hasidic community who talked about their hostilities with the Black and Hispanic communities in their area. And they also talked about why the Reform movement is such an abomination. And to hear these things, obviously, they make me extremely uncomfortable, but initially I would have never had the courage to be able to go up to these people and say something, regardless of whether it's like confrontation or just a conversation about whatever it may be. You don't refer to my friend as the blonde white girl at camp, so I don't have to be the black girl at camp. You can learn my name. But I've learned that talking to people around me who care about me, close family and friends, being able to gain insight from the people who truly care about me is such a great way to gain courage. It doesn't have to come through something super large and like all of a sudden you have this sense of self where you're like, yes, I can do this, I can do anything. I feel like I've gradually built a sense of courage through being inspired by the people around me who want me to be able to stand up for myself, and knowing that there's people out there that really want the best for you and can help you to gain the ability to say what you need for yourself. And that's what courage means to me. So yeah, thank you.
In challenging times, the arts give me strength, providing a vehicle to refresh and recharge. Whether singing a song or listening to a concert, the arts take me outside of myself and connect me to something bigger. They provide moments of beauty that allow something inside me to settle. And they open my eyes to see things in new and fresh ways. Since the days when my mother took me to see the New York Philharmonic's Young People's concerts conducted by Leonard Bernstein, I've been hooked. Whether performing in a high school musical or musical at summer camp, singing has long provided a bounce to my step. And when I was having a very difficult time as a freshman in college, taking a studio art course helped to turn things around. Maybe you've seen my morning light photos posted on Facebook this past month or at other times during the year. I make no claims at being the next Ansel Adams, and yet the simple act of getting up and taking a picture of the sunrise outside my kitchen window and behind the State House is grounding and centering. Art also connects me with other people. For several years, I sang with RPM Voices, an interfaith group committed to the preservation of African American choral music. What a great time! This experience not only helped me learn about a different culture, but connected me with people that I would not have crossed paths with and not have made friends with. The times cry out for us to step it up and rise to the occasion. Our neighbors are in need, and we have all seen too clearly the scars of injustice. We must face these challenges, but we must also make time to celebrate beauty and make art. Then will we truly be sealed for a good, sweet, and full year.
Shana Tova. It's an honor to be asked by Rabbi Mack to share a reflection on Yom Kippur. 5780 has been one strange year. I've experienced 64 of them so far, and I don't think I've ever been so happy to hear the sound of the Book of Life closing. At the same time, I don't think I've ever been this excited for the hopeful promise of a new year to begin. Our lives, institutions, and communities have been upended. We've had to reimagine everything: schools, hospitals, government agencies, businesses, and yes, even synagogues. If we're honest, we weren't ready, and for far too many of us, our loved ones, friends, and neighbors, they're struggling. Yet in the midst of it all, I've taken strength and courage from the everyday acts of empathy, kindness, support, and humanity that I see every day all around us. It took a pandemic literally pulling the rug out from under all of the usual places we convene and connect to help us really understand the importance of empathy and human connection. In the heart of the crisis, Susan and I must have attended more than a handful of bat mitzvahs, graduations, and weddings, all virtually. It was beautiful for us to feel like a real part of the experience and to be there for our friends and family. We even hosted our first virtual Seder, which allowed us to include family and friends that couldn't physically be with us. It gave new meaning to Ma Nishtana. And we even surprised Mom on her 90th birthday as family from around the world joined us on Zoom to sing happy birthday and to smother her with loving stories. There wasn't a dry eye. It often takes a crisis to catalyze real societal change. It feels to me like this is an important moment for us and our community. It's my hope and prayer that our community leads the way with empathy and human connection at the core. May you and your family have an easy fast, and may 5781 be a wondrous year of personal, family, and community growth.